Hey guys, it's Mr. Gary coming to you live with Story Time with Mr. Gary. I love being able to do that. It's Giving Tuesday today. It's a great day. So, Mr. Gary, Simone, ton of other people are going to be on our POAC Facebook page live all day today. I'm telling you about POAC and all the great things we do and how you can help us to keep on doing all the things we do, like signing up at poacwalk.org or .com. I think both work. Connor, love Connor's always the first one on. Dawn Marie's on top of it. I love it. I love it. So lots of fun stuff today that we're going to have. We're going to have not all of our favorite people, but a lot of our favorite people are joining us. Hey, Connor and Jacob. Hey, guys, and Stacy and Jaden and Don and Tommy. You woke up. Nice. Tommy struggles with getting up out of bed. He loves to lay in bed. We know. Emily here. Faith's here. Oh, all my friends. I know there's a couple more coming on though. Sky and Tommy, awesome. Anthony, Justina, we're excited today. This is a good story. And like I said earlier, it was recommended by our own incredible Stacy Murray, the head, the top banana from the New Jersey Autism Warriors, the founder of the New Jersey Autism Warriors, and she's always on here. Always, she lives her life volunteering nonstop for the autism community. So thank you, Stacy. In honor of Giving Tuesday, I let Stacy pick the book. It's one of our favorites, though. Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss. Love this book. Love, love, love it. Gets a little emotional. I told Miss Simone I might tear up. I don't know. So Horton Hatches the Egg. And there's Horton. All right, Mr. Gary's going to read this backwards. See the bird? That's Maisie, a very, very lazy. Hey, Adrian. And Miss Brittany's joining us. All right, I got to read this one. Okay. Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored, and I have kinks in my leg from just sitting here day after day. It's work, how I hate it. I much rather play. I take a vacation, fly off for a rest. If I could find someone to stay on my nest. If I could find someone, I will fly away free. So even though it's her egg, she wants to get the heck out of here. Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? The elephant laughed. Why, of all silly things, I don't have feathers, I haven't wings. Me on your egg? Well, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense. Tut, tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. I can't, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I will give you my word. I'll be right back. Why, I will never be missed. So look, she's trying to convince Horton. Hey, Tiffany. So, very well, said the elephant. Since you insist you want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I will sit on your egg and I will try not to break it. I will stay and be faithful. I mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang our Maisie and fluttered away. So Horton agreed. Novi, hey, and Danik. Now the first thing to do, mumbled Horton, let's see. The first thing to do is to prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done before I get on, because I weigh a ton. Does anybody know how many pounds a ton is? 2,000. 2,000. So look, so he propped up the thing. Is Faith, where's Faith? Faith's going to watch it later. Sometimes Faith watches it at night. Hi, Faith. So look at him climbing up. Then carefully, tenderly, gently, he crept up to the trunk, to the nest where the little egg slept. Big elephant. So he's sitting on the egg. Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. Look at the storm. Oh, look how horrible. Wet. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm, and he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and it lightened, it thundered, it rumbled. This isn't much fun, the poor elephant grumbled. I wish you'd come back, because I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget. But I don't think Maisie was even thinking about the egg. But Maisie, look at Maisie. Now in Florida. Because in Florida, they let people on their beaches. Just saying. But Maisie, little COVID-19 humor, sorry. But Maisie, by this time, was so far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach and having such fun and such a wonderful rest, she decided she's never going back to her nest. Hey, Shane. So she's never going back. She's never going back. Oh, look at poor Horton in the terrible snow. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn, and the leaves blew away. And then came winter, the snow and the sleet, and the icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, I'm going to stay on this egg, and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, and elephant's faithful, 100%. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round, and they shouted with glee. Look, they were kind of making fun of poor Horton. Look, Horton the elephant's up in a tree. They taunted, they teased him, they yelled, how absurd. Old Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird. Look, everyone's making fun of Horton. You think that's going to make him leave because someone's making fun of him? I don't think so. So they laughed and they laughed. Then they all ran away. And Horton was lonely. He wanted to play, but he sat on the egg and continued to say, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, because the elephant's faithful, 100%. 100% means always. Not 99, 100. Oh, uh-oh. Look what's happening. Hunters. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended. But poor Horton's troubles were far from ended. For while Horton sat there, so faithful and so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind. Uh-oh. Getting a little scary. Look, they're aiming the guns right at Horton. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. The rifles were aiming straight at Horton's heart. They were going to shoot Horton. You think he ran away? Nope. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high and he threw out his chest. And he looked at the hunters as much as to say, shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Look at that. That's amazing. But the men didn't shoot, much to Horton's surprise. They dropped their 3 guns, and they stared with wide eyes. Look, they all shouted, can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree. It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful. New, don't shoot him, we will catch him. That's just what we will do. Let's take him alive. Why, he's terribly funny. We will sell him back home to a circus for money. So look, they dug up the tree. And the first thing Horton knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up the tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. We're off, the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy, 100%. Up on the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains, 10,000 feet high, then down the mountains and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant. Egg, nest, and tree. Look at them, how far he did. And they put him in a boat. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, out over the ocean, and oh, what a trip. Rolling and tossing and splashed with the spray. And Horton said day after day, I meant what I said and I said what I meant. But oh, I'm so seasick, 100%. He did not like being on the boat. Look at that. Woo! After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. All ashore, the men shouted, and down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied on a board that could just scarcely hold him. Bump, Horton landed, and then the men did sell him. So look, they sold Horton the elephant. Oh no. And they put him in a circus, guys. But look, Horton the elephant still sitting on that egg. Sold to a circus. Then week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington too. To Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere, thousands of folks flocked to see and laughed at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton, he grew sadder the further he went, but he said as he sat in that hot, noisy tent, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, because an elephant's faithful 100%. So they're taking them all over the country, but look who happens to be flying overhead, that lazy bird Maisie. Then one day, the circus happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach, and dwelling a long way up in the sky, who of all people should chance to fly by but that old good-for-nothing bird runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags and the tents down below, she sang out, "What fun! Why, let's go see the show." And she swooped down the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious," gasped Maisie. "I've seen you before." She's looking at Horton. Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, what do you think's going to happen to the egg? I think something's happening to the egg. There rang out in the noisiest ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild alive scratching. "My egg," shouted Horton. "My egg while it's hatching." Look at that. It's hatching. Oh, Maisie didn't like that. Maisie said, "But it's mine," screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done. Now she wanted it back. "It's my egg," she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off my nest and get out of my tree." And poor Horton, he just backed down with a sad, heavy heart. But at that very instant, the egg burst apart, and out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. Look what came out. Look at that. Looks just like Horton with wings. And they flew right onto Horton. Backwards. Oh, and the people came shouting, "What's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They never seen anything like it before. "My goodness, my gracious," they shouted. "My word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird." And it should be like that, because Horton was faithful. He sat and he sat. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. Because, who knows the last line? And they sent him on home happy 100%. So they took him back to where they took him from, took him back to the jungle with all his friends. That was a great story, ladies and gentlemen. I love that. A little hard sometimes to read backwards. I'm reading backwards, but really, really good. Really, really good. Thank you, Stacy, for that recommendation. And that's just one of the many things we're doing today. As I mentioned, it's Giving Tuesday. And what we want people to do today is to sign on to poacwalk.org, sign on as a team captain, because most of our walks are going to be virtual walks. So we're going to talk about that later on. But we need people to sign up. We need people to sign up and start their Facebook fundraisers. And we have an incredible foundation, Focus for Health, that said they will match dollar for dollar every dollar raised for your Facebook fundraiser that started, that's raised from now on. So sign up today and they will match it dollar for dollar. So if you raise $10 for POAC, guess what? We get 20. How cool is that? Thank you. Oh, and Tony and Leo and Sky and Tracy. Who else did I miss? Adrian. I don't know if I missed anybody else. That was a long book. Miss Simone, just type poacwalk.org. It's a great way to help us and support us, because COVID-19, that's going to go away someday. My son wants to know what day, but I can't tell him what day, but I tell him one day it absolutely will go away. But if you don't want POAC to go away, now's the time to start your walk team and to help us so we can continue helping all of you. We are a family. You're my family. I'm your family. We're in this together. I love you all. I can't wait to see you all again. But in the meantime, we do have a bunch of virtual stuff going on. And at 1 o'clock today, Ms. Simone and I are actually doing a really good webinar for the parents on how to keep our kids, you guys, safe on the computer. Because there should be certain rules and ways to keep safe. And we'll absolutely go over all of those things. Plus, tons of other funny people today, our music, you have a story time with a princess. Look at that. What princess, Miss Simone? Elsa. Elsa, the princess from Frozen, will be sitting. Hey, Haley. We have Brittany checking in and Miss Janine checking in as well. Everyone's working from home. Except Mr. Garum still here in the POAC office. You can see my orange hat that I always wear outside with you guys, so you know I'm there. I love you. Anything else I should be saying? Oh, tomorrow's book is I Like Myself, which always is a really, really good message. I like myself. I think that's it for now. Parents, all day long, we have really, really great stuff for the kids and for you. So we will see you soon. Love you. God bless. And I will actually have a little funny story for moms and dads a little later on today, little like 5-minute funny story that I pretty much will guarantee that you will laugh out loud and you want to share it to everybody else. So I love you. See you soon. Miss Simone's going to sign me off now. Bye, guys.